Okay, so there it is. Now I can see what you're seeing there. Butter's in, a couple of handfuls of flour. I'm just gonna turn it on slow. So, let that mix up a little. Now, as you can see, did I lock that? Hold on. Yeah, I did. My camera skills suck. Sorry. Okay. As you can see, it's still very, very, very wet. You want to scrape all that down periodically. You really don't have to. It's going to do all that itself, but, you know, OCD, that kind of thing. All right. So what we're going to do is throw another couple of handfuls of flour in there. And a teaspoon of salt. Maybe another little pinch. And then we're going to let that mix up too. As we add flour, it's just going to get more of a dough ball. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot the second cup of water. Ha! I'm wondering why that thing's so small. That's why. Good thing I figured it out now before it got too dry. Whew. See? There we go. Throw it in there. Luckily, it was still pretty wet. You don't want to make that mistake. Were y'all screaming at me in the camera? Damn near ruined that whole thing. I have to start this video all over again. That's better. Alright. It's hard to do video and do something that you're just so naturally accustomed to doing, because I'm trying to be thorough for y'all. Alright, so I just added 3 or 4 more handfuls of flour. I'm going to turn that on to stir. Let's take a look at it real quick. Notice that we're starting to get something that almost resembles a dough, but at this stage it's still more of a batter. You can see how wet that is. It's starting to come together a little bit, but this is a very wet stage. So we're going to keep adding flour for this 2-loaf batch, and as it continues, I will continue to show you, you know, what the texture of this is, because you can put too much flour in there, and that's what we're trying to avoid. I was able to add that second cup of water because this was still very liquidy. But once you start getting a good ball of dough formed, adding water to it is just a real pain in the ass, and it's sloppy. You're not going to like it. So I was able to recover this pretty simple, but as we progress, you'll just add flour slower and slower. Right now, it's still pretty liquidy, easy for me to stick the flour in there, but as we get further along, I'll put less and less and just keep testing it. Dogs are wanting in. I'm going to cut this video off, and we'll start back in a minute.